Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Mindful Mannies and Chats. Today, we are going to be chatting about some of these spring collections that these brands are putting out this season. I'm going to be using a tier ranking system, which, if you're not familiar with, it's essentially the same as an A through F grading scale, except in this case, S is actually the highest, and then it goes A, B, C, D, E, and E is the lowest. Here's my little visual representation of what each ranking looks like. Essentially, S is going to be the best one, no notes, absolutely perfection. A is going to be still really good. Maybe one little thing could be different, but it's overall still really good. B is also good. You know, it's fine, it's good, it's good. It's good. And then C is just like, okay, it's okay. It's like average kind of. D, we're sad if they get a D. D is like, oh, we didn't want you to be here. Like, you could have done much better, and we're sad that you didn't. And then E is like, what went wrong? Something went wrong. We were all rooting for you. Of course, these are just my opinions on each collection, and none of this is to be taken too seriously. I'm just doing this video for a little fun and commentary on some of the collections that came out this season, and I didn't really publicly talk about, but I still have opinions and ideas on the collections. So here we go. First, we're going to start off with Cirque Colors Angel Baby collection. Generally, I do like Cirque's concepts for collections, and they usually go pretty well for me. I usually do like at least a few colors in each Cirque collection, and I think this one was not really any different in that regard. My favorite was definitely Slow Burn. It was like a pink shimmer topper, and it was just really cute, and I don't have anything like it, so I do personally plan on picking that up at some point. I am not personally a fan of magnetics polishes that have like the silver magnetic pigment in it. I feel like they're kind of subtle and they don't really do a lot for me. I think magnetics can be so exciting when they have two different contrasting colors as the pigment and base. I also feel like we really did not need the two Crelly polishes in this collection. It's like that lilac color and that blue. Originally, when I saw it, I'm like, are they re-releasing Morning Tide and Lavender Sky for some reason? What's going on? But they were honestly kind of the exact same color, just rebranded as Crellies, but Morning Tide and Lavender Sky are still available as jellies. So I think maybe because those two jellies were so popular for them, they decided to just redo it in Crelly form, which I guess I can respect the decision, but I really did not need that addition. So for all those reasons, I'm putting the Cirque Colors Angel Baby collection in B tier. Alright, next up is ILNP's Candy Coated collection. Now, when they first teased this collection, I thought we were going to have a lot of those like different plain jelly colors that ILNP is experimenting with, especially because I feel like jellies would go so well with like lollipops and gummy bears and things like that were featured on the mood board for this collection. But unfortunately, we didn't get any plain jellies. However, we did get a lot of different mixed formulas, like holographic jellies and magnetics and shimmer polishes, all of which I do love from ILNP, so I'm definitely not complaining in that aspect. I also think ILNP does those mixed formula collections so well. Each polish can be so different, yet they complement each other wonderfully. And even though we didn't get any plain jellies, I think that all of these still captured the candy-coated vibe perfectly. My only note for this one is that I just wish it got released a little bit closer to summer, but I can't really complain about getting these beautiful colors a little bit earlier in the year. I'm really not mad at it, honestly. Because my only note is the timeline for this release, I am putting this one in S tier. I think they did a great job and I love it. Personally plan on picking up Sweet Tooth and Peach Rings and maybe even Jelly Bean, we'll see. Alright, the third collection that we'll be talking about is Olive Ave Polish's Succulent collection. I know Olive Ave Polish is probably not a super popular brand amongst the community, but I personally really like them and I've been shopping from them for years. I love Walker and her vision for the brand. However, over time, because the brand has gotten so big, they've had to start retiring shades and obviously it's a little bit disappointing. So for this collection, they decided to bring back some old retired shades and basically basically feature them in a new light with the release of a new collection. I think technically this collection was 9 pieces, with 5 of them being old retired shades and 4 new ones, but for our purposes, I'm only going to be talking about the 4 new shades. Since there were only 4 new shades, I was kind of disappointed, especially because 3 of the 4 shades I feel like are very familiar for Olive Ave polish, and nothing really exciting, at least for me personally, especially because I think for spring I expect some lighter, brighter colors, but these felt more muted. I don't know, something was just not clicking for me and I didn't really vibe with this. So unfortunately, I am going to be putting this collection in D tier, which honestly hurts my heart so much because I feel like they could have just not done that to themselves, but then they did it. And I'm like, why? I don't know. But maybe someone else really loved this collection. I don't know. I will say, of the 4 polishes that they came out with, one I really like, which is that dark purple Santa Rita. I love that formula from Olive Ave Polish. I have a few colors in that formula with like the gold shimmer. I think those are beautiful. So I really liked having that new addition to the formula range. Okay, next up, I want to talk about Holo Taco's Cottagecore collection. I really admire Holo Taco for going this totally different route than they have previously gone on for their spring collections. Usually it's kind of somewhere in the pastel neon range, but these are truly pastel and they're extremely muted. So I really respect that. I also was able to receive the collection PR, so I got to try them out, and they all have really good formulas. Even though they are these dusty pastel shades, they apply wonderfully on a nail. I really like the aesthetic of the collection as well. I feel like the peaceful kind of spring vibe was captured very well in the cottagecore aesthetic. I also really like that they tried something new with the flower glitter topper. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I always kind of commend the brand for trying something new. For those reasons, I'm gonna put Holo Taco in A tier because I was really satisfied with the collection and I think it came together very well. It captured the spring vibe, it captured the cottagecore vibe. The polishes all worked together wonderfully. The flower glitter was a great addition, and I just think it was honestly a really good collection. Last but not least is Moomcat's Baroque collection. I really liked the idea and the inspiration behind this collection. I feel like I haven't really seen something exactly like it before in the nail polish world, so I will give them props on creativity. Unfortunately, I really disliked basically every single polish in this collection, which is such a shame because there was, I think, like 8 polishes in it, and I didn't like any of them. A couple of magnetics in there, which were kind of interesting, but I would not pick them up. And the main reason I don't like this collection is because a lot of them are these large particle shimmers that kind of have that frosty look to them, and I really am not interested in that at all, even though I think some people are, and it would go well with the spring vibe. I personally just did not have any urge to buy this collection at all. I feel like a lot of my critiques were just personal preference, so I don't want to judge them too harshly, so I'm putting them in C tier. Alrighty, that's basically all of my takes for some of these spring collections I released this year. I know I didn't go through every single spring release ever, but those were just some that I saw on my radar. Let me know your thoughts on the ones I talked about. Hopefully I wasn't too harsh. And if you like, let me know down below your favorite and least favorite spring collection that came out this year. This is a new style of video for me. I do plan on making this a recurring series for each season, so hopefully you guys like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!